Hey, how are you there, parent? How are you doing? I talk to African parents. I'm an African mom. An African. There is a education system that is coming back in our education calendars. It was there before, when just before we were born, the 80s, in late 90s, 70s, going behind. Because the whole of last week I've been researching on the education systems that have been in there, and how they've been in the southern part of Africa, the eastern region, and the western. Yeah. And so I've been doing a little bit of research of the education systems that have been in place from late 70s, from 70s entering into 80s. And so what I realized is that in 80s, from early 80s, the education system changed from what used to be. Okay, in 70s, not many people were going to school. As per what I was reading, as per research, not so many people were going to the confined type of school. Like, there were very few schools and very far, and so there were the westernized kind of education was still new in most parts of Africa in 70s. Okay, and so even during 70s, it was half of the theory and the new knowledge that had come, and then they would go to school half day and then go home and do other things, like if a child wanted to know how to knit, for example, the girls, they would go home and continue learning how to knit, how to do pottery, weaving, braiding, the things that the old women were doing, and the mothers were doing in the home. So it was part of the Muzungu education, and then the traditional and cultural learning. It was going on concurrently, and that changed with time, and it kept changing, and then eventually we entered into the Muzungu type of education, and so we left the part of us learning other things apart from book, what is written. Okay, and so we started studying more theory than practicals. So if it was art and crafts, I remember I did art and crafts. I think my age group is the age group that did art and craft in my country the last time. Yeah, because the people following us did not do art and craft. I think it was finishing art, craft, and music, because as we did, I think 9 subjects in the primary level, we did 9 subjects. We were doing 9 subjects. Then it came to 7. Then it came to 5, and then it continues going. But you see, they merged them, and even the people before, as I was doing the Southern African hemisphere part of Africa, also there were the people of my age group. It was 12 subjects, then 10, then okay, but it was half. You do the theory, then go home as an African child and do the practical, and it was not consistent, the theory part. But eventually with time, we entered into theory, and theory has continued and has developed. Now it is not even just theory, it is now more, what do you call it? Not theory, but the AI thing. Well, how do you call it? The word is going away. But the thing is, what I'm trying to talk about is before the month of November is the month that we talk about child abuse, the child abuse advocacy. The month of November is a lot of advocacies for the children abuse, sexual abuse, exploitation, child labor. And so the month of November is full of advocacy for the sake of the children, and I am for children. Yeah, as you can see my profile. So what I'm trying to say is that there could be a very thin line between child exploitation, which is child abuse, and child training to become what they should be. Because now, with the old system coming back into schools, because now the older system is coming back to schools, in that we are returning back to our senses. I don't know if that is what is happening, because now I think we are copying it again. Africans, we copy. It's unfortunate that most of the time, I don't know what happened to us. I don't know where the rain started beating us. We don't have something that is original of ours. We lost ourselves somewhere. I don't know why we have to follow systems done by others, because now this we are getting it from Asia. It's not a bad thing, and it's not bad to copy good things, all right? But unfortunately, Africans, we copy everything. For some reason, if it is trending, then we go for it. And so this one is trending from Asia, and particularly from China. How the children in China study half theory and half practical, and they are doing good things, and it's all good and it's nice. And I think that is what is coming back to our schools. And it used to be there. Then another system came and it was sold to us and it looked attractive, and we lost what we used to do, and then we copied that one, and then we left what used to happen. Because I was doing a research and what could happen. The art and craft, well, what I was talking about, it was art and craft. You'd read about it, the joints. I remember my art and craft teacher, please forgive me, the joints of how you take another wood and put in another wood, and the one goes there. There's another joint that is called I can't remember so well, because I wasn't interested in art and craft, because in my mind it belonged to men. Okay. And so I was interested in home science, honestly, and I'm a very good cook, and home science taught me many things. Okay, I remember when I was in primary, I baked a cake, and I had never seen a cake before, but I had no idea. But out of the theory, for some reason, our home science teacher was so nice, and I loved her. And we baked a nice cake, and we didn't have icing sugar and the stuff, but the cake was good, and we shared with all the teachers in school, and it was good. And I did a presentation and I explained how we did it, and it was so I still love cooking. And that we left it. And so we have been studying and doing no practicals. In fact, in most schools, home science laboratories closed, art and craft, no, you know, most of them. Music is an extracurriculum subject that you pay for separately from tuition fee in most schools that I know in this country where I am, in the country that I was before, and even from my country. And even in South Africa, I was there last month, and it is an extra curriculum, you know. And so that means if inside of you, you feel and you know that you have a passion for music, for you to sharpen that talent in you, you have to pay extra. Your parent has to pay for you extra school fees for you to do that, and it's unfortunate. But what I'm saying, where am I going with the discussion? It is not about that. It is about the child exploitation in the name of child training, because now we are seeing what the Chinese children are doing. Please, if you're training your children to be responsible people, know that there can be a very small thin line between exploitation and exploitation stroke abuse and training. One, they are young. Two, they have rights. And three, it could be toxic for their health, their emotions, and their psychological growth. Please. Because some of us, some of you, we don't just give these extracurriculum activities at home as a form of training, but as a form of punishment and infringing the children's right. One of their rights is that they should play. And for your information, they learn more even through play than when you did. When you take a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old child and make them do all the house chores from morning to evening, what time is this child being a child? Even 9-year-old, 10, 11, please, for crying out loud. When is this child being a child? Because by the time this child finishes what you have told them to do, what you are supposed to do, and you're not doing it because you're training them to become responsible mothers and fathers and men and women in the society and be like the Chinese children, what time are they playing? What time are they exploring? They learn through exploration, what they experiment, what they experience. But you, as a parent, and some of us and some of you are very bad parents, because some of these children don't live with their biological children. Some are fostered, some are adopted, some are living with relatives and step parents. And so in the name of training, the bad ones, the evil, the wicked ones amongst us take the advantage. Because even when in case anything happens, and because unfortunately most of the children's rights that have been infringed on, if a neighbor reported, it would first go to the village elder, and then later on it will be seen if it is something. Because I have been working with and for children, I think, all my life, and in most cases the chief would say, even children sometimes they're hard to deal with. You go and you don't do that again. So it is never easy that children rights, the children can stand out for themselves. They are weak, they are young, they may know their rights, but who can fight for them? Who will fight for them? Who will? Because if I am a concerned neighbor, I go and report, and that there's a child that is being abused, is being overworked, for example, the child, then I would just go and report. And maybe when the chief has said that, or the village elder has said that, the chair lady has said that, this week I'm dealing with a child who is totally orphaned last year, who was totally orphaned last year. He has been coming to our club, and now this woman who has been what, like a guardian to him, felt so jealous because for some days he has been coming and he's hungry, and I would give he's a teenager. I'd give him some money, go and have lunch, and it's a children club. It's a registered children club. It's a place for children. It's a safe place for children, so it's known. Okay, and so she became so angry, and she was saying horrible things until even the village elders wondered. But anyway, that apart, let's be careful and let's just be human, because I may not be where you are to come and rescue that child, but please, for peace sake, for empathy's sake, for sympathy's sake, for knowing that you yourself, you have things that you remember of what you were done for and how you suffered and how you were overworked when you were young and you thought it was okay because you're an African child and you have to work hard. Please, times have changed. If you yourself, you're thinking that you don't have to work hard, you work smart, why are you working hard? Why are you making the children, that child, work so hard? It is hard enough for them to wash utensils that 15 people, 12 people ate on for 3 meals, go and fetch water, clean the house, I don't know, do what? There's so many things and so many ways, and even just calling them, oh, for example, myself, Esther, go there, go to the shop, go this 10, 20 times in a day. What time is this child being a child, please? As a child advocacy month, can you please advocate for the rights of that child who is in the neighborhood and you're feeling like this child is not resting enough, and this child is not being trained but being exploited, and this child is not happy because this child is overworked and is so tired? Saturdays and Sundays in Africa, that is mostly the time that children don't go to school, and they don't get to rest either, because the whole Sunday they'll be in Sunday school, and in Sunday school they clean the compound of the church, and they do what? They fetch water for the pastor, and and then on Saturday they start by going to the garden, they come back and they wash the utensils, they do what? They play for either 10 to 20 minutes. And Monday to Friday, it is going to school, coming back, fetching water, washing utensils, doing homework, then sleeping. They are already getting tired before they become real parents. Please, can we all be advocates for the rights of the children in your neighborhood? And you who is bad, if you're bad, you're bad, and you know it. Every one of us has a conscience in their hearts. That conscience, I call it a spirit. Whether you're a whichever religion you call yourself, whichever way, there is a conscience in each one of us, and if you're a bad person, you know it, because you can feel it. And so, let us change and just take care of the children in the neighborhood, the one you know, the one you don't know. If you see anything that is not kind, that is not good, that you wouldn't want be done for you if you are a child, and you wouldn't want it be done to your child either. Over permissiveness is abuse as well. If you don't train them, also is bad, but there has to be how you do it. And because you're grown, a child expects you to know there has to be a limit of how you do it. Over permissiveness is abuse as well. And exploitation is abuse. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.